Lamar Jackson should come off the bench on Thursday in order to get healthy and possibly promote Baltimore Ravens down the stretch success. We discuss next. Hey, what's happening? Welcome back to The Bald Perspective. Do me a quick favor, go ahead and hit that like button, touch the subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get updates when we upload new content. Let's talk. So, this is part two of Lamar Jackson being compromised. And let's understand something very, very quickly. This is not an insult to Lamar Jackson. This is not a questioning of his ability. We all understand how great he is. I've promoted how great he is. But right now, the guy is not healthy. And because he is a professional, because he is a competitor, he's going to want to be in the game. But at some point, a player may have to be protected from himself in order to promote overall team success. Now, when I say bringing him off the bench, I'm talking simply about making him available for Thursday, but going with Tyler Huntley. And as long as the game is going well, he doesn't have to play. The goal really is to get him an extra 13 days of rest from today all the way until we face off against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You see, I understand the sentiment around Cincinnati is that their defense is probably the worst we have faced after the bye week. But that doesn't matter. This offensive line is one of the worst in the league. So we match up, right? One of the worst offensive lines, one of the worst defenses, that evens out, which means now how the offense moves is going to go directly on the running back and the quarterback, or vice versa, the quarterback and the running back. Well, our quarterback is compromised. It's very, very clear. I know somebody told me last week or maybe the week before that he wasn't really hurt. This is kind of a fake out, but there is no benefit to Lamar Jackson faking it out, right? Him being out on the field, barely getting out of harm's way. He's had 7 sacks over the last 2 games. He's getting up off the ground gingerly, things of that nature. I just don't see where this is a fake out. This is a guy who has real injuries. And I think 2 weeks basically of rest and treatment could absolutely get him ready to go, right? So why would I say sit him and go with Huntley? Well, basically, when we really look at the Baltimore Ravens offense, Ravens versus Chicago with Tyler Huntley, and then Ravens since Miami, the numbers are really comparable, but the run game is not that close. When you look at the numbers from the Tyler Huntley Chicago Bear game, they're going to look like this. When you look at Tyler Huntley and the Chicago Bears game, what you're going to see is just better numbers. 180 plus yards passing, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and over 70% completion percentage. And I think in that game in particular, the Baltimore Ravens touched, I think, 170 yards rushing, with Derrick Henry adding I think he had like 73 yards or something like that. So other guys chipped into that game. The Baltimore Ravens put up 30 points in that game. And I know we looked okay in the Miami game. And I think we put up 30 points in that game, or close to 30 points. But you got to remember that game, we had several turnovers on the Miami side of the field, which put us in short striking distance. This offense has not shown an ability to stretch the field lately. This offense has not shown a real ability to be explosive. This offense has not shown an ability to get things going in the run game. And we understand what that is. That is because the offensive line isn't that good, whether it's run blocking or pass blocking, they're not that great. And so then that left in the past, that left Lamar Jackson having to compensate for everything that the offensive line was lacking. But right now, with a limited mobility, he can't compensate. And because Derrick Henry is not that elusive back, he's not that explosive back catching the ball out of the backfield and things of that nature, He doesn't have the capacity to take over in the run game necessarily, with the offensive line allowing him to be met at the line of scrimmage, in the backfield, things of that nature. He's having to just shake off blockers, he's having to run through defenders, uh, power through tackles, things of that nature, just to get the yards that he is getting. And so I think that giving Lamar Jackson an opportunity just to see if he can get a little more healthy, just to see if he can get to 80%, as I mentioned in the previous video, would be beneficial going into a matchup versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's no way he can go into that game at the same level of competence. There's just no way. There's just no way he can be that successful with a TJ Watt and his crew. The Pittsburgh Steelers are absolutely going to blitz, just like every other team. Every other team who's recognized that Lamar Jackson is compromised, his offensive line is trash, every other team has began to blitz even more. Why? Because the Lamar Jackson of old, when healthy, he could escape the blitz. He could beat the blitz. But right now, his escapability is very, very limited. I don't think he's playing possum as other people have suggested. I think he's genuinely hurt. And I think that giving him an opportunity to get well. But don't just trust me. Let's trust the numbers. Let's look at the collective numbers from Miami to Minnesota to Cleveland and to the Jets. Yeah, when you look at the numbers, they're all average at best. Passing, completion percentage, rushing, the total rushing game, scoring, all average or below average. So there is no advantage right now with the compromised Lamar Jackson to having him out there unhealthy versus a 100% Tyler Huntley. Now remember, I'm just talking about a one-off. This may be the first time in Lamar Jackson's whole career where the Baltimore Ravens just say, you know what, we're going to sit you for this game and see if we can get you better by Pittsburgh. See, if we really hope that the Baltimore Ravens can contend for the division, it happens right here. It happens right here. Of the last, we'll see what we're 6-5. That's 11 games. So we have 6 games left. Of the last 6 games, 4 of them are AFC North games. This is where you win the division right here. But it will not be done without a healthy Lamar Jackson. So you guys let me know, man, what you think. The numbers speak loudly. I think they should sit him just for his own health and then see if we can get him refreshed and revived going over the last 5 games. I'm your guy, J, and until next time, I'm out.